It doesn't have to be that
Right,
intricate.
yep, and pick your head up, pick your chin up. Right?
Keep your
How
chin
many guys? How many new guys for sure are looking at the apex as they're going through the corner instead of looking 100 feet down the track? Pick your chin up because where your eyes go, your hands will follow. So
True.
look up
That
the
should
track.
be on the DMV test, though.
Yeah, no doubt, right? No doubt. Pick your chin up and breathe.
So you already said you were overweight. You were huffing and puffing when you drove the kart yesterday.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite food place related to a track?
Oh, man. Man, there's so many because we always go on our, it's so funny because I always have Howden and Cole coming out to my challenge races, right? So those guys are super foodies. I mean, Cole only eats 3 things, but Howden is a super foodie, right? So there's always the places we go depending on where we're at. Like at Sonoma, it's just Angelo's Deli. I mean, I got to go to Angelo's and get a sandwich, right? When I'm in Phoenix, where do we always go? Oh, we always go to Chop Chop when we're in Phoenix. Yeah, there's a pretty good tap on grill down there, right?
What's it called?
We call it Chop Chop. Just a tap on grill, like a Benihana type place.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can open. As long as sorry, my wife's asking me if she can open the door. Yes, please. Yeah, he was going back and forth in the street in a motorcycle. Sorry, Jason, ruined the podcast here.
No, that's
right. And then at Tucson, there's always an Italian place we go to and always a Mexican place. But just recently in Tucson, I found a pizza place. Now, I'm originally from Chicago, so I lived in Chicago for many years. Well, not many. I mean, long story. I was born in Chicago, moved around a bunch, but that's the home base. So I'm a pizza guy, right? And there's a place in Tucson called Rocco's, Roccos, that has the closest thing to Italian pizza, both thin crust and deep dish, I've ever found anywhere. So I'm going to say Rocco's is my favorite near a track place in Tucson.
Nice. I know I shouldn't talk about food on this show because I get hungry, but I always like having that
right.
checklist.
We all have our places, right? I mean, you go back in history. I mean, in 2003, we had the Rotax Nationals at Denton, Texas, at the little North Texas Carters track. And then this old guy that ran the snack bar there, and he made an amazing Frito pie. And for people who don't know, it's in Texas, it's like a bag of Fritos dumped into a little boat with chili and cheese and onions on it, right? And man, that was like the best Frito pie I've ever had in my life. But thanks for wrapping my fat into food talk. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm trying to get better at this whole interviewing thing. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go. You cover a number of decades in karting because you've been around for a while. What about some kart?
Yeah, it's a nice way I'm saying I'm old. I mean, I first started racing in first started racing in '82.
Call you vintage though.
I know. And the first track I ever went to, I was probably 6 or 7 in the late '70s, and had no interest. I was happy just eating great popsicles, sitting in the bleachers eating great popsicles.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about 12 years old, living in Texas, living in Houston, and my stepdad finally asked me, "Do you want to do this?" Because it's the last time I'm going to ask. And I said yes. So we bought an old Yamaha chassis with a Yamaha inboard engine on it from Skip's Hobby Shop for $750. I still have the receipt in my house, and raced at Katy, Texas the next month at a track that's still there. Where a good customer of mine still goes to was at this weekend practice.
Katy, that's Gulf Coast Karters.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
a
before they
cool
added
little
on.
track.
They added on a little section. They lengthened the straightaway and did some other stuff, so it was shorter back then. But yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off. But yeah, 82 is when I first started racing. So I did that. And I was out of it for several years, and then got back in 25 years ago.
So what's one of the biggest things that you see? Just kart tech. So in the 90s for us, it was scaling the kart. Oh, you need to be at 41%. No, you need to be at 44%. You need to be at 42.5%. So for us, it was always scaling the carts and scales.
Yeah.
And nowadays, it almost seems like no one even knows what a scale is. It's chassis tables. Put it on the table.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody had scales, and back then, when we wanted to add lead to the go-kart, we put lead shot in the frame rail.
Yeah.
So, and because you couldn't just go get dive weight back then. It just wasn't easy to do, right? So it wasn't easy lead. So either you threw lead shot in the frame rail, or my stepdad would take like 2-inch, muffler header, cut it into like a 6 or 8 inch length, and weld a cap on the end, and then we would melt lead shot with his torch into it and make a solid block of and then we would, fab up some clamps and just clamp it to the frame, right?
Yeah.
So it's my words, pretty Soviet, right? It looks pretty rudimentary, right? But it wasn't pretty. And then eventually they outlawed the whole shot in the frame rail thing because, people's bumpers would fall off and then leave a bunch of roller bearings on the track, right? A bunch of balls and be like watching Super Mario Kart. Those guys in a corner and there's 10,000 little BBs.
Yeah.
There's no banana peel. So, so that was for sure. Everybody was like, got to scale. We scale now. I mean, and that was probably at least until 15 years ago. I mean, that changed probably about right at the turn of the century, a little bit afterwards. I mean, I can remember guys maybe 05, 06 that still wouldn't leave, quote unquote old school guys that still wouldn't leave the house without a set of scales in the trailer. But now set of scales, what the hell is a set of scales for, right?
Yeah. It's
all flat table and put it straight, throw it back on the track. I mean, you should see when I literally did this just a couple months ago. A guy came up to me at the track and was like, "Oh man, I don't know what's wrong with my kart." And I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Oh, it turns one way good, it doesn't turn the other way." I said, "This is a new guy." I go, "Oh, it's bent." He says, "What do you mean it's bent?" I said, "I put it on the ground, and you do the normal thing. You turn it one way and you feel how far the wheel lifts. You turn it the other way, feel how high the wheel lifts." So I literally grabbed a wood block out of my trailer, put it under the spindle, told the guy to, stand in the front end over there, and I jumped on the opposite corner, and we put it back on the ground and twisted the wheel back and forth, and the wheel came off exactly the same, about half an inch. I'm like, "Okay, go drive it." He's like, "Oh my God, it's perfect." Okay, it probably wasn't perfect, but that's how we did it back then. We just put it on a jack stand or a block of wood and jump on it. There were no frame tables.
Yeah. The last time I remember seeing someone do that was in Reno, and it had to be right around 99 or 2000, 2001. And it was actually, it was Fritz Leisman as a junior. He went off pretty hard, and his dad rolled the cart into the pits, and the right front wasn't even on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no chassis tables back then. It's like, just write it off, right? It's like, all right. So we did the same thing. Blocks, started jumping on it. It's like, all right, there you go. And when you tell that story, it just takes me back. It's like, yeah, that's how simple it used to be. We didn't need to have a 3 or a 5 or a $7,000 chassis table with these sniper inserts, and you got to get it within half a millimeter here, and it's always fun watching. Is it Tiago?
Tiago, yeah, Tiago Princino.
Yeah, at the big races, and you can tell when the juniors come off the track and when the tag seniors come off the track.
Yeah, you got a line of 15 go-karts, right?
Yeah.
Though it's a great value-added service. I mean, I love it when Tiago shows up to my races. I don't charge him a vendor fee. I'm like, dude, just go park over in the corner, buy a pit pass for the weekend, and I'll point people out where you're at, because I think it's important that if people need that service, I mean, could I make a few $100 charging him a vendor fee? Yeah, but it's not worth it to me. I'd rather have him there coming to my races and having him there for the customers, because he's earning a little bit of money and people are getting a service out of it. I think it's awesome. I love having him there.
Yeah, and you know what? He's one of those. If you're newer into the sport and you show up at a national level event and you wad your card up, he's gonna. In most cases, he's gonna save your weekend, and most of the teams just go, "Hey, go over there.
Yeah, exactly.
$200, go over there," and you might be heartbroken when your card's destroyed. Go ahead.
Right. And most teams have a flat table in their trailer, but it's just time, right? They just spend the time or whatever.
Yeah.
If they can do it at the end of the day, but if it's in between heat races and it's 2:00 in the afternoon, run over to Thiago. Handle your business.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of chassis I wish I knew he was around, because I remember just writing him off. It's like no one really knew how to fix them. Before the chassis tables came out, people were like, "Oh, that's a goner."
Yeah, that's it. You're done.
And I've seen him do some magic. I mean, there's some I've looked at. It's like, oh, that's done. And he goes, "Nah, I could probably get it drivable."
Well, he's got stuff that, most guys just have a frame table and a big bar. I mean, that guy's got clamps and, it's like watching a freaking orthopedic surgeon do his job, right? I mean, he's got tools that even team guys, don't even have, right? So it's a different level for sure. He spends a lot of time trying to make it as good as he can, and he does a good job.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a great value that he offers. What are you pouring right now?
What are you talking about? Oh, you heard me go to the ice?
Yeah, I have really good headphones.
Just a little vodka and lime juice, and cut it with a little bit of ginger ale just to make it light. It's a nice little light drink. Easy to sip. Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, filling up my first one.
So everything what Andy's trying to say is to get through this show, he has to drink.
Well, what do you have? What's in yours? What do you have?
Water.
Yeah, sure.
But before that, it was a margarita.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll tell you a crazy story. As far as I just recalled it. So we were at Paris one year racing, and there was like a first turn schmozzle, and I could feel my cart was not acting right. It was just not turned, and the old Paris. Still roughly the same layout, but the old Paris, we ran it counterclockwise instead of clockwise. So we ran down the big long straightaway, and it was like a V. And right at the apex of that V turn happened to be it wasn't a curb. It was just a big rock. And this is no BS. My cart wasn't turning properly, and I'm like, you know what? If I just pound that rock, I think I might be able to get it better. And I literally drove into the corner and drove like 6-8 inches further down in the apex just to hit the front tire as hard as I could on that rock, and it actually straightened the go-kart.
Well, that's creative thinking on your feet.
It sounds like a bullshit story, but I'm telling you, it is absolutely true. It was the most phenomenal thing. I mean, I came off of that. I came off the track and I went, "Oh my god, did I just really do that?"
As a tuner, one of my biggest blows to my ego I ever had. It was one of the Moon brothers, Jimmy. It was Jimmy Moon, and it was at Buffalo Bills, and he was running in one of the cadet classes at the time. I can't remember exactly which one, and it was a turn one pile up, and they red flagged the race, and so I'm looking at his cart, and the wheels were everything was intact, but it was just bent beyond any recognition. And it was red flag, no tools. Being that they were the juniors, they allowed the mechanics on the track to go grab the carts and help him out. And I looked at him, and I go, "Hey, I can start jumping on stuff and try to bend it as straight as possible." And he goes, "Yeah, I don't want to quit." It's like, all right. So I'm sitting there jumping on the cart. I don't think that's technically working, is it? As a race promoter?
Yeah, well. It depends on the rules at the time and the day, and
then who's looking? So I'm jumping on his tie rods and everything else, and I go, "Okay, little dude," I go, "just get out there, do your best. If you're not comfortable, just pull off." And he goes, "Okay," and it was fine. So we're watching the race, and it's like my stomach is just in a knot.